Hello and welcome back to my Pokemon Journeys review series. Today we're going to be reviewing episode 31, Feebas' Pretty Scale. I hope you enjoy. This week's episode was actually pretty good, better than I expected. The basis of the episode was about a young girl called Nami who was trying to show off her Feebas to her friends, and they wouldn't appreciate it because it's just a Feebas, and she really wanted to prove them wrong and show how special it really is. So Parker, Chloe's brother, rang her up and asked for help, and Chloe asked for help from Ash and Go. I love that Ash's reaction every time that he saw Feebas was that he thinks it's cool while no one else does. Ash just loves every Pokemon no matter what it is. So they offered to take Nami and Feebas back to the lab to try and help her out. And this is when the professor tells them about a water contest that takes place in Hoenn, Slateport City. This was really cool because I didn't think we were going to be going to a different region in this episode. I know a lot of people have been disappointed that we were staying in Kanto a lot, but this was a nice change of pace. This first half of the episode is spent getting Nami ready for the contest. There's a funny scene when Ash starts training as if he's about to battle. A bit later on while training with Feebas, Chloe sees that it has a prism scale attached to it, which is hinting that it's going to evolve later down the line. Nami tells everyone that she can't swim, so this is where Chloe, or Kaharu, steps in. At first she was reluctant to help, but as the episode goes on she seems to get more involved with the situation and helps Nami and Feebas out a lot, even helping Nami with her swimming. Chloe is probably the standout character for this episode as we haven't seen her a lot recently, but we're getting a little bit more development for her as each episode goes on that we see her in, and she's even tagged along with Ash and Go in this episode to a different region for the first time, so this could be signs of things to come. I actually really like the dynamic between the three. It reminds me of the original trio slightly, but with Go taking Ash's place and Chloe taking Misty's, as Chloe always seems to get annoyed with Go and tease him a lot. They all arrive in Hoenn for the contest, which takes place on a beach in Slateport. I thought the background and animation of Slateport was done really nicely, and when they arrived, Go managed to catch himself a Wingull. Just before Nami is about to show off her performance, Team Rocket interrupt the whole thing, completely demolishing the stage, which was pretty reckless since there's loads of kids around. I was surprised that Team Rocket were in this episode. I didn't know they were going to be. It just seemed like the contest would finish and Nami would win, but instead there was a pretty decent battle with Team Rocket. They used the vending machine to get a Kingler and a Carvanha, but there weren't much of a problem for Ash and Go. The highlight of the episode was probably the evolution scene. Meowth was trying to take Feebas off Nami and the prism scale fell off and she got really upset and tried to put it back on. And there was a really emotional scene with some great music. And then Feebas evolved into Milotic to protect her from Meowth, blasting Team Rocket off with a Twister. And then Nami was awarded the contest trophy for showing their bond, which makes sense because if they didn't have a bond then Feebas wouldn't have evolved. So overall there's not too much else to say about this episode. It was a really decent filler episode. It had a nice showcase of Hoenn Pokemon and of course Slateport City. It had some really solid development for Chloe and possibly hinting that she may be sticking around on journeys with Ash and Go more often. So overall I'd give this episode a 7 out of 10. Next week's episode looks really exciting. The preview looked quite emotional, so it could be another sad episode like the Pikachu one. And of course Ash is confirmed to not be in this episode for the first time in the history of the anime, which is crazy. But please let me know what your thoughts are on this week's episode. Please like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and see you next time.